Teresa, how dare you? Betrayal. Late. It's exactly 1:00 p.m. Okay.
On the dot.
Okay. Come on. So rude coming here and putting us down like that, throwing us under the bus.
Backing up over us even. Just because your clock is incorrect does not mean that we're late.
What's happening, everybody? And I'm really excited that that Frenchie's in the house. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yay! And there she is. Oh yeah, wait. Yeah. Yep.
What?
Top of the chat.
But I don't know, Frenchie, if you saw the show where we were talking about it, but we were saying how at Open, we think that you and T-Money should bring copies of your headshots to be able to sign and give out to people. So
I agree.
We think that's very important that you should do that. So yeah.
Yep. The hairs is fresh. I got my new do yesterday.
There we go.
Katie got her fresh do yesterday too.
Anyway, it's
somehow we managed to. Sorry, I interrupted you. How rude! Can I insult you while I'm at it? Because
it's Wednesday. Oh well, we accidentally made hair appointments same day, same time. We have different places that we go. Luckily, mine is like right down the street, and I realized because I was like, oh, I'll just Uber it, and then I was like, it's really close. I mean, it actually is just a quick little jaunt, quick little stroll.
She was able to walk.
I walked, and I was able to stop at the store on the way home. Got myself some water, some carrots, some hummus, some real garlicky hummus.
It's coming out of your pores the next day. Ugh. She's very garlicky.
Anyway, it's Wednesday. And so Wednesday, it's our Boss Up and List Day. What's Boss Up and List Day?
Boss Up and List Day is our all-day virtual listing party. It is the party that we host in our Facebook group led by T-Money, who is in the house, the Boss Facebook group. So it's kind of our thread that goes up every Wednesday where we chat about our weekly goals or maybe sometimes daily goals and check in with our virtual coworkers and set our goals for the day, whether they're listing goals or photography goals or whatever. It's kind of like our weekly challenge or daily challenge that we do once a week. We do little challenges every day, but that's kind of our weekly one where we check in with everyone and kind of try to hold ourselves accountable.
Yep. We just try to have multiple ways that people can hold themselves accountable to each other and really get into these good habits of getting stuff listed and setting goals and achieving them. But so Wednesday, we kind of switched our format a little bit recently when we got rid of Friday's show. And so Wednesday is more of our Q&A, kind of ask business questions kind of thing, and then we'll talk about a topic. And so today I just put our topic is summer. It's almost summer. Today's the 29th of May. What happened?
It's finally warm today. It's supposed to hit 90 out there today.
Yeah, seriously. So
beautiful.
All of a sudden, here it is. We're hitting summer. And so I thought, we could address the whole concept of summer slowdown. And I saw somebody in the chat, Frontier Flipper, said no such thing as summer slowdown. I mean, I think you're being too. I think it's
a little too glib about it.
A little simplistic because the reality is there absolutely is a such thing as fourth quarter when it comes to the holidays and sales go up. Anybody that has sold in retail in general or retail online on different platforms, when we say that there are when we say that there are patterns and there are swings to the way things happen in retail, we're not talking about every single individual seller is going to experience the exact same thing, but there are broad patterns in the way that things go in the world of retail. And when you have fourth quarter, you go into the holidays months, you absolutely see sales jump.
And a lot of people will say they don't see a lot of sales jump in fourth quarter because it depends on what you sell.
Yes.
Just like the summer slowdown.
Right.
Not everyone will experience a slowdown in sales, but the overall trend in
and if you look at
that sales are slower.
If you look at I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm sure T-Money could tell us, Teresa. If you look at the sales numbers in general for let's say all of eBay, I'm sure they make more in fourth quarter than they do in the third quarter, which is basically what summer quarter is. So it is a reality that people tend to spend a little bit less in the summertime. Sorry, but you're going out, you're doing fun stuff. You're going on vacation. It's, summer vacation. A lot of kids are out of school. You're going to doing stuff. You're not spending as much money. The weather's nice. And in the wintertime, it's like you're stuck indoors. The weather's not as great. You get cabin fever. You start to spend a little more money online. Now, does it make a difference what stuff you sell?
It does, absolutely does. It does.
Course.
There's definitely, there's a perception too. And a lot of people just don't work as hard in the summer. They take that time to slow down a little bit. I know that it's the only time that I take some time to actually slow down. We take, I take, and now Katie, I'm forcing her as well. We take 2 weeks off in July. 2 weeks where we don't list. We don't list. We don't work. It's not possible. We go away for 10 days. Every July. We've talked about this before. This is her first year coming with me, where we're going to be camp counselors at a children's burn camp up in Washington. And there is no eBay. There is no eBay. There's no phone. There's no computer. There's no nothing. There will be no listing, no shipping, no nothing. Answering questions and accepting offers, yes, occasionally when we can get near a phone.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's not going to happen very much. So it's going to be 10 days with nothing. And then immediately following that, we come home. And it's eBay open, where our house is full of guests, and we're gone from dawn till midnight every night with plans. So it's 2 weeks of 2.5 weeks of no work really. So that's that's fine. Lisa, we do have nurses. We have a nurse. We have 2 full-time nurses. We live there for 4 days at camp. This is my 5th year or 6th year going back as a camp counselor, and this is Katie's first year coming with me.
What's the name of the camp?
The camp is called Camp Eyapsut. It's EYABSUT, but it's in North Bend, Washington, and it's held at I'm trying to think of the name of the camp. It's the campgrounds are in North Bend, Washington. They've been there since 1930s. I'll have to think of the name of the campground for a second. It'll come to me later on. But there'll be no Vicky 2.0. There will be no shows that week.
I'm going with her, so there'll be no shows.
There will be no shows that week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna actually take some time without any shows either. So it'll be a good time. So it thrifts a lot. A lot of people have high listing limits. As a matter of fact, depending on how long you've been on eBay, I don't even have listing limits. I have no limits.
But I'm like you. Mine's it's like in the billions and millions, and it's like laughably high. It just does that. So going back to the whole concept of summer slowdown.
And let me answer just Lisa real quickly. Yes, Lisa, our camp nurse spots are always full. It's the same nurses that come every year. We have the same 2 nurses that have been coming for years and years. But yeah, it's a fantastic camp. And I actually have a very good friend of mine who's a nurse that's coming as a counselor and not as a nurse, because we don't need her as a nurse. And she's coming from Ohio to come and spend her vacation with me and volunteer her time.
Be careful, Allison. Next thing you know, you're going to be coming next year.
It's a great camp. It's a lot of fun. And I don't like camping. I don't like outdoors. I don't like any of that crap. But I live in a cabin for a week and sleep about 4 hours of broken sleep a night for a week, because I love the kids and I love what we do. And it's a great time. And we spend the entire time, working our butts off, making sure the kids have a good time. It's an awesome, awesome camp.
Yeah, this is going to be my first year going.
She's going to love it. We're not going to be in the same cabin. I run a cabin for the little girls, and Katie is probably going to be put with the older kids, which means she'll be doing some real camping. She'll go off-site for a couple of days and
sounds fun to me.
And do some really fun stuff.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, I actually went to sleepaway camp like that. I mean, it wasn't a burn camp, but it was a week-long sleepaway camp just like this. So similar type of thing.
Yeah, if you ever want to look it up, it's like I said, you can look up the camp. It's called Camp Eyapsut. It's EYABSUT. It is a 501c3 charity. You can look it up. We will not be able to post pictures. We'll be posting pictures probably of ourselves and things like that. But for privacy reasons, we don't post pictures of the children. So you won't really see that. But there are public photos and things that have been approved on the actual website if you want to look at the camp and learn a little bit about it. Feel like making a donation, feel free to give a donation right there. It is a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Hey, Susan, we're sorry you missed the meetup too. Maybe next month.
And Red Neckerson, Mount Si Bar is the bar that we go to the day that we finish up at camp. We go to Mount Si and go to the bar every last day of camp.
Yeah.
So I am familiar with Mount Si.
All right. So getting back to the whole concept of summer slowdown, I will say, okay, so usually fourth quarter things can be pretty crazy. I will say the nice thing about the summer slowdown, and it's maybe depending on what you sell, it's not that much of a slowdown. And I'm hoping that we're not going to experience much of it. Our sales have gone down a tiny bit, but not really a whole lot so far. I'm up over last year for sure, because last year was like right now was when we were really getting into Glitchapalooza. all those pictures going missing, a bunch of stuff happening on eBay. But this year we haven't experienced that yet.
My sales are down in the past 3 days. That's about it. And this is the first time I've.
But that's on eBay. Now, last year you didn't have Etsy, and this year you do. So that definitely helps kind of combat that a little bit. But there's a few things about this. So last year, speaking of Etsy, last year, because of all the glitches and stuff like that, like that's when I kind of was like, okay, I got to do something, because I can't just sit here and wait for things to turn around on eBay. And that's when I like fully committed to focusing on Etsy. And I'll tell you guys, it has paid off big time. I actually just this morning, I had to go in and fill out paperwork and do all this stuff to set up for taxes for Etsy, because guess what? I'm towards the end of the 5th month, and they're anticipating that I will definitely be surpassing the $20,000 threshold for them having to doing the mandatory reporting of your.
Oh, kind of like how PayPal does.
Yep,
yeah,
it's the same thing. 200 sales or $20,000 in revenue, and I'm basically right at 10,000 with the 5th month closing up here. And so definitely,
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll do 20 this year, but
you should surpass 200 maybe. No. I guess.
I don't know. I hit no, not number of sales. I hit 1,600 this month on for the past 30 days on Etsy.
Nice.
That's my highest I've done on Etsy in a 30-day period so far. And Hip Flip and Mama Kelly, we love you. We love you without a super chat.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with super.
Of course, we love you without a super chat. But yeah, anyway, so like I'm really happy that last year, I was panicking a little bit. Sales were not looking good with eBay. And so I put that time into Etsy, and now it's really paying off. And I'm hoping it's going to, help this summer not feel like there's a slowdown. But also the summertime to a certain slowdown is nice, because you need to be able to like get ready for 4th quarter. We're getting to that point now. We're starting to talk about 4th quarter, which is going to basically kick off October 1st.
Yep. And
you want to be getting in gear for it.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I think I'm going to do I should do about 15,000 on Etsy this year, and I'm on track to do 110, anywhere from 110 to 120 on eBay. So I barely hit. Like all platforms combined, I hit 100,000 last year. I should do 130.
I'm hoping with
the 2 platforms this year.
If I could do 120, I would be really excited about that. But who knows? It all depends, because like I said, last year, I think I just came just short of 100. And that, had things gone normally through the summer with eBay, I would have definitely gone past that. So this year it should be totally different. But
yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see what happens, because if, 4th quarter was really good for me, and it hasn't slowed down yet. Knock on something. I really, I'm hoping that, I don't know, we've both been working our butts off. So I'm hoping that it continues. So Mark, thanks for watching. He said, watch these vids all the time. First time live.
Apparently we rock.
We rock. So thanks. We got 114 people watching us live right now. Only 25 thumbs up. Dudes, thumbs up. Couple thumbs up.
Yep.
Anyway, so I'm kind of excited about what's happening right now with stuff. I guess we've been hearing there were a couple of glitches this morning. PayPal not working for some people, customers not being able to check out and use PayPal. I know Allison was affected by that this morning. I don't know how many of other people, but I was seeing some stuff on Instagram and such. So I'm hoping
it's okay. I've had a couple of sales. So
I have not had a single sale today. I've actually had 3 really, really horrible days in a row on eBay. So we'll see what happens. Overall my week has not been bad. So I had a great weekend. So I don't know what's happened in the last 3 days, but
I'm selling t-shirts like crazy. Big surprise.
Shocking.
But I am actually there's been a big jump in t-shirt sales, but part of that's because of the time of year and stuff like that. But
60% of what you sell is t-shirts.
Well, at this point, yeah. But in getting ready for 4th quarter, it's like we're kind of getting close to hitting. Well, I'm not quite there yet, but you've gotten close to hitting your capacity as far as space goes. So between now and 4th quarter, it's like you can't necessarily make a goal of, okay, I'm going to increase by 1,000 listings or something like that. But what are some of the things you're doing I guess, to get ready for fourth quarter beyond just adding inventory?
Well, I did clear out and ended 100 listings the other day. We added a couple of shelves in the garage, so I was able to transfer some stuff. I ended 100 listings. I went through some of my hanging clothes. So basically, it was sweaters, sweatshirts, dresses, and jackets.
I had, you guys, Memorial Day, I had to pull every single item she had hanging on her racks that I built for her so I could add another section. It was fun.
Yeah. So I ended 100 items, all things that were $30 and lower, and not junk, but all things that had either I've had for a while or were listed at $30 or lower. And I just decided to get rid of them. And I'm contemplating maybe doing a few reseller boxes. I'm not going to donate them because they're too good to donate. Or selling them for a couple bucks a piece to somebody else, just to keep moving and keep putting better, higher quality or higher dollar items in my inventory. I've never done reseller boxes though, so I'm not sure how that works, but I'm thinking about it. But I think I'm going to get Lorna go through some of the stuff tomorrow, next week instead, and see how much she wants from it. And so I may do that. I'm working on doing more hard goods versus clothing because I do get a better return on investment on hard goods. And they do tend to turn over faster for me. So, and that's why I like to do garage sales and things like that, because garage sales, that's where I generally find my items. So Shamrock Pixie, hello. Thanks for popping in. She had just, I don't know if you're still in the hospital or not, honey, but she had, some serious surgery. Her body tried to attack her, and I hope you're feeling better, hon. I do have a package coming out to you. Katie and I put something together for you, and I'm sending something out to you.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. Obviously, there's a couple of different ways for you to expand and increase your sales, and that's either volume or it's average sale price. And it looks like that's kind of what we're both focused on. And I just want to keep doing that. And that's the way, I mean, they're all different sales models. So obviously there's, you can scale up, add employees, and just go volume, start doing wholesale, or all kinds of stuff like that. Or if you want to keep it at a boutique level, which is how I am. I'm all about like finding, I'm spending up, but I'm spending up for higher dollar items that are going to be more desirable. And for me, that's more fun. I just have more fun doing it that way. And so like how I started was, I was going to the bins and I didn't know anything about fashion, and I was just buying everything that I thought instinctually might sell. And it was all about getting those numbers up and hitting 1,000 listings. And then it's kind of like once I hit those 1,000 listings about 8 months in, then I started to kind of hone it and get a little bit better at picking items. And so slowly over time, I've gone from, I remember when I first started tracking it about 8 months in, I was at about $25 average sale price.
That's
and
pretty
I
much
slowly over time have gradually increased. And I just want to keep going with that. So I'm getting to the point now where I don't even want to do too much filler stuff. I want to be excited about every piece that I list. And maybe that's a lofty goal, but I think I can do it.
Like don't get me wrong, I still sell things for under $30, but I definitely prefer my items to all be over $30. Now, if I sell something for less than 30, I can tell you right now it's something that I paid $1 or $2 for, or it's something that I've had for a long time.
Well, and when I say I'm excited about something, that could be a t-shirt I sell for $27. Like, I'm doing a lot of t-shirts, and there's some really cool vintage t-shirts out there that I know I can't get more realistically than about $20 to $26, $27 to $30 for. But I'm still excited because I like them, because I like vintage t-shirts. I think they're fun.
Darlene asked, how many listings do each of us have? I just dropped down under 2,500 listings. I'm at about just over 2,400 right now, because I took a bunch down and I did not get a bunch listed last week. So I'm a little low right now. And Katie, you're at?
I'm at about 2,200 on eBay. And then I have about 1,200 of those are cross-posted on Etsy, vintage stuff.
Yeah,
but I will say,
if
I wanted to take the time, and I need to at some point in the near future, I could probably pull out at least a few hundred things to get rid of.
Same.
And so at some point, when it becomes necessary, I will do that. Right now, I'm not in the same spot as far as like needing space. I'm not in a crucial moment. So when I get to that, like right now, I'd rather let it all sit there and hopefully some of the older stuff will sell, because it does here and there. But when I do get to a crucial point where I'm like, oh, I really more space, then I will go through and pull out a bunch of stuff and get rid of it. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And so somebody, okay, first of all, I wanted to say, Frenchie said that she gently hovered and Pinky touched the damn like button. And I think that's her way of encouraging others to not be so angry about smashing that like button, but maybe just gently tap it.
Kara Cooper sold a hat for $90, a Ford Mustang hat this morning.
So Sarah Pink wants to know if we're considering opting into managed payments soon. I will say for me, the thing, well, so supposedly PayPal is getting reintroduced. I don't know that everybody's gotten it yet that's in managed payments, but I heard some people have it, some people don't quite yet. So for all whatever, it basically PayPal is pretty much back for the managed payment people, or will be very soon. The problem I have with opting into the program at this point is that there still are issues around international sales. So first of all, they don't support global shipping program, which is fine because I don't use it. I don't recommend people using it because I think people can do it themselves and make more money. So that's fine. But it is still restricted to only items being sold or being purchased directly on the US.com site. And while I don't pay, you know, there's like that thing you can check to like have it be on other sites.
That web interpreter.
No, not that. You know, when you do a listing, there's a little thing you can.
Oh yeah.
I don't do that. I don't really understand what that does. I don't do it. But when you list, for those of you who are not in the managed payment program, when you list, your stuff will sometimes show up on other people's sites, other countries' sites. So you know when you do a search and it's like US,
and then it'll say results on other sites,
international, whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it shows up, I think. That's my understanding of it, like on the France site or Germany or UK. And so, but I know for a fact, because sometimes I've had issues where maybe somebody didn't item as described or whatever, and I have to go through the France website to deal with it, or I have to go through the UK website to deal with it. There have been times that's happened. So I know for a fact that a number of my sales, my international sales, come not from the .com site. So my issue is, I sell a lot of stuff international. I don't want there to be any barriers.
To make a long story longer, she does not want to have any further barriers for international sales. So no, she's not opting into managed payments yet. And I'm the same reason. Same reasoning. Yeah. No, I'm not going in yet either. I'll obviously fold in what everyone else does at the end of 2020 or the end of right before fourth quarter 2020 when it becomes mandatory. But I'm not going in before that.
Now, I would like to address a little thing, and I don't know, maybe we should probably do you tell us shorty video sometime in the near future. But I don't know. Word on the street is actually not word on the street. The actual word is that for people who don't opt in to the managed payments before what, June? I don't know what the date is. June 4th, June. I don't remember what the date is.
Something in the next couple of days.
Sometime in the next few days. They are no longer, so people who are in managed payments right now, you pay a percentage for payment processing.
2.9, which is
2.9.
I think it's 2.9 or
2.9%, right?
Whatever, and you're paying 3% for PayPal.
Right. So there, and then PayPal, you know, it's like what, 30
cents per transaction.
So when you sell something through PayPal, you pay 2 or 3% plus 30 cents per transaction. The whole thing with eBay and managed payments was that, oh, you're paying 2.9% and there's no transaction fee. Well, guess what? Guess what, guys? Guess what? Tricked ya. Actually, anybody who signs up after this deadline coming up, there's going to be a 25-cent transaction fee. Like, what the F, man?
So now you will have a 0.1% savings and a 5-cent savings per transaction for going over to the new managed payments, which is not going to be an option. It is what it is. You're going to be forced to use it in another year, but there is no longer any substantial or significant savings anymore.
And now I will say, I still do like the fact that you have access to like Google Pay. Apple Pay, all these other forms of payment. Plus, it also takes away issues where you would have a case get open on eBay. eBay would resolve it in your favor, and then they would open a case on PayPal.
Right. It does take away that stuff.
However, I'm going to get into a rant right now, guys. However, it's not a transaction fee. It's not a transaction fee, you guys. It doesn't say per transaction. It says per listing. Per listing. What? Per listing. What does that mean? I sell things sometimes.
Can you stop yelling?
No,
they can hear you.
No,
it's not a walkie-talkie.
No, I gotta tell them. I'm fired up right now.
There's a speaker.
I'm fired up right now, guys.
There's a microphone.
I'm fired up right now. Sometimes because I sell all streetwear, vintage stuff, a lot of vintage T-shirts. Frequently, I have people come and buy 3 T-shirts from me, 2 sweatshirts from me, 3, 4 items at a time from me. Does this mean that for every listing, I sell 4 items, I pay $1 transaction fee plus 2.9%?
Yes.
Whereas on PayPal, it's 30 cents. What?
Yes, that's what it means.
The F.
Yes, that's what it means.
Okay, that's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So what? I'm being penalized now because I'm selling multi quantities to buyers.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Got a boxing glove on. Watch
That's
out.
crazy, guys. So
yes,
I mean, it says per listing. So if I'm wrong, then please, somebody from eBay come out and say, actually, that's what we meant. It says per listing.
I've seen some clarification on it in other threads. It's been I read the
it is per listing.
I read the thread on Reddit. It's been on a lot of different transactions. Yeah. So basically, it's just not.
But why? Why? And that's the thing that makes no sense, because it's like it's one that it drives me crazy in the same way that the whole concept of like data, like you're paying extra for data. It's like this arbitrary, made up, non-measurable thing. Like it doesn't cost eBay more money because you sold something 4 items to somebody.
The transaction.
They only processed it one time.
I understand.
What?
Because they can. Because they're trying to create more revenue for their shareholders. Right. Because they're trying to show more of a profit generating system because it's costing them millions and millions of dollars to buy out their.
Yeah. All I know is that I would normally say something.
Because it's costing them all this money to do this entire thing, to have this whole payment processing system changeover, and all the employees and all of the changing of the process, and the millions and millions of dollars it's costing them. Now they've got to show profit generation for it.
I get it, but guess what? There has to be a balance between.
Do you think that matters?
No. Well, I think it does, because guess what? Here's the reason that I'm making a big deal about this, though, guys. Because yes, they're going to do what they're going to do, and in the past, when people say, "Oh, it's just a money grab," I say, well, it depends. There's nuances usually, but there are certain times when mistakes are made, choices are made that are not good overall for the sellers, that I do not agree with, and this happens to be one of them, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And if the only reasoning behind it, after all this time of them telling us how great managed payments are going to be because they're going to save us all this money,
well, they're no longer going to save us money.
Right, and now already they're still in beta, and already it's like, oh no, it's actually going to cost you more.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Several purchases from multi-variation listing count as a separate listing. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying.
No.
That's what they were saying on.
But okay, but just give me 1 second.
You're going to correct me again.
No. Yeah, okay, I'm not trying to correct you, but I'm trying to. Let's talk this out. There's somebody buying 4 different T-shirts from me. That's 4 different listings. Mm-hmm. What Mo's asking is, she's wondering if it's a multi-variation listing is still one listing. When you list it, you only pay 1 insertion fee because it's 1 listing. That's not, you don't pay 4 listing fees because you have 4 variations within that 1 listing. So what she's asking,
I know what she's asking.
So you're saying that you think those would count as 4 different listings?
That's what was discussed in what I read last night.
Okay. Then because it's one.
Yes, it's still 1 transaction, but it's considered. Everything is considered a listing. So yes, if she had 5 purchases from that multi-variation listing, it would be 5 25-cent listing fees instead of 1 30-cent transaction fee as it stands with PayPal now.
Either way,
if you sign up before June 1st, but you have to be invited to be part of the managed payments program. You have to be invited to sign up before.
See, one witch lady, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I'm talking about it, is because there have been times in the past when they have walked things back based on the response. And so people need to respond. This matters. This does matter. I don't think it's that big of a deal for them to charge a transaction fee, because you know what? Etsy does it, PayPal does it, everybody does it. It's pretty standard. But the language that says per listing is nuts, because you're paying a quarter for every single item somebody buys.
Would they walk back on this? Who knows? The reality is that, you know, the whole touting managed payments as being this incredible money saving thing. Yay, it's great. No more PayPal. We're going to open this up to so much more worldwide shoppers. All of that part I do agree with. The fact that having multiple ways to purchase and pay is going to be so much easier for buyers, and we turn off a lot of buyers that don't have PayPal and don't want PayPal. I do definitely think that's going to open up a lot of people as far as having Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that kind of stuff. But that's going to hopefully generate more sales, but it's no longer a savings for us. You know, it is what it is. We don't have a choice. The process has happened. eBay and PayPal have severed their relationship. We don't have any say in that matter. We don't have to say any of it. But the reality is stop saying that it was going to be a big savings, because it's not. It's not. There's no longer a big.
We're
savings.
not even out of the. We're not even out of beta yet. And again, it's not even that, you know, I don't know. Personally, like I said, I'm fine. I'm like, whatever, transaction fee, fine. Listing fee, that doesn't even make sense. You're basically double charging us for insertion fees. It shouldn't be per listing. It should be, you know, I get a transaction fee, fine, if that's what you need to do in order to cover the costs of transferring over this program or taking on this program, fine. But it also means that, like, that
stop saying it's a savings. There's no more savings.
They're making that 3% that PayPal was making before. So it's like,
it's the same thing. There's no difference from PayPal to this.
Well, there is, though, because PayPal isn't charged by listing.
You're right.
So guess what? It's more expensive. It's going to be more expensive.
You're right.
For anybody who sells more than one thing to one buyer. So then when you do your thing where you're like, oh, buy 3 items and get this % off, it's like, just know that you're tacking on 25 cents to every item somebody gets.
So Amanda, if you opt in now, there are no fees. You won't have the 25-cent per transaction fee if you are accepted in before whatever that deadline is. I don't know if it's June 1st or June 4th. I think it might be June 4th.
I don't know.
That's all that means.
And the thing is, like, what does that even mean? For how long?
And I also read that line is only good until next year anyway.
Right.
You only you're only not going to get charged that 25-cent transaction fee until the end of next year.
Fee.
Whatever, listing fee instead of transaction fee until next year. And then when everybody's rolled into managed payments, and that is the process that everyone has, your temporary savings is gone. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bummer.
So I just, you know, the reality means that it's not going to be a huge amount for anyone. I did the math based on how many transactions I do. And that 25 cents equates to around $800 a year. But that's $800 a year that I would have been saving.
Yeah.
Based on what they were touting as this new savings, as a new, you know, what I'm already paying now.
Well, so, and bottom line, I think it's worth it for the added protection, because I have had issues every year. I have at least a couple issues with PayPal.
I've never had $800 worth
not
of issues.
800. No. What I'm saying is you were already paying that transaction. I mean, in reality, how often do you have people buying multiple items from you?
Not often.
Okay, so you were already paying that money to PayPal, but you are now getting a little bit more protection just because you don't have to deal with 2 different. I mean, it sucks. It sucks when somebody opens a case on eBay. It's clear that it needs to go in your favor, and then somebody didn't even bother opening.
It's happened like twice with me. Somebody
didn't bother opening a case with eBay. They did like an item not as described case through PayPal, but not through PayPal, through like their banking company or whatever. And I was like, okay, so send it back. I have 3 returns. Like, what's the problem? And they like pulled $20 out of my account for a chargeback fee. And I don't have the item back. I don't even know what's going to happen. I think the case is still open, but they still proactively took $20 from me. And I'm like, I don't even get it. So, you know, I still am looking forward to having eBay handling all of that. But I wish that they would be upfront and transparent and don't pretend like we're saving money, because we're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $800 is a lot of tacos.
It is a lot of tacos. I was kind of, you know, when they first came out with it and I started doing the you know, looking at the savings, I'm like, oh, that's a good, you know, I was thinking 30 cents, a transaction fee each transaction. I'm like, oh, big deal, big whoop, you're not even gonna notice it. But I was like, when I did the math, I was like, well, $800 a year is fairly significant. That's nothing to sneeze at, right? But now there really won't be a savings at all. So
yeah, I don't know. I think to me, it just says, because like Suzanne says, it's all chipping away our profits, which have been reduced greatly in the last year.
It's absolutely true.
It is true. But then that says to me, and I would encourage you, I mean, again, everybody has their different selling models, but I would encourage you to really look into how you can increase your ROI, how you can increase your average selling price, how you can decrease your costs. And
well, again, it's true, and we all do that, and we all try to teach different ways to do that. But it's true. She's not you're preaching to the choir, Suzanne. It's absolutely true. Yeah. I've been on eBay, almost since the beginning. I've been seriously selling for 10 years full time, and before that 5 years part time, but still serious and consistent for that 5 years. And in that 15 years on eBay, costs have risen astronomically across the board. Not just eBay fees, PayPal fees, shipping fees, supply fees, everything has just increased astronomically, exponentially, almost year over year. Yeah. So it's all been very difficult.
Well, and my big thing is, if you are operating on tight margins, you really put yourself at the mercy of the platform that you're on, because at any time a policy change, a fee change, an increase in shipping prices can drastically impact your business, which is why I'm saying, if it's at all possible, if you can find ways to change how you source, change what you sell, to increase your margins, so you aren't constantly having to worry about like what's going to change now that's going to really bite into, it's like if you're a company that just sells printer ink, and it's like you have to think about shipping costs and the way whatever is priced that goes into making your product that you sell, that's going to suddenly increase each unit by 10 cents, and that like is going to completely screw your bottom line by the end of the year. It's like, I mean, that's kind of scary to me. That's kind of scary. So
yeah, I know, I agree. And and then on the other hand, there are a lot of people that that think that what we do is not sustainable, because it is a lot of work, and it is working on one-offs, and it's a lot of work for what we do, where the true business format is that you should be doing less work for more revenue. You should be finding repeatable, consumable products and resources, and less hands-on and things like that. And that's a true money-making business model, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just, all depends on what you like to do and what you're trying to do. So it really depends on people and what you like to do. Amanda, I also like the 1% cash back that I get with my PayPal debit card. I pay for all of my sourcing with that card, and it does recoup some of the PayPal fees. I agree with you. I also use my 1% cash back, because I use that for pirate ship to pay for my postage. I use it to pay for my eBay fees. I have it attached to my PayPal debit card. So even though it's coming out of PayPal, it's using that card, so that I get my 1% back with that as well. So and I'm actually 1.5% cash back, because I've had my PayPal debit card so long that I think ran for 1.5% cash back.
What? Money bags over here.
Yeah, it's not that significant, but it's a little help. So when everything changes, I'm just going to start using it, my business credit card, probably that accumulates miles instead.
Yeah. What's up, Lisa? Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways that you can have a successful business. It's, there's all kinds of different models. There really are.
Surfer Salat asked the question, what is the maximum amount eBay refunds us for using promoted listings? I think they give it out every 3 months. I think I saw earlier back that you have a premier store, so you have 1,000 listings, the $59.99 a month store level. I believe you get $30 a quarter, so it's $10 a month toward your promoted listing fees. Yeah. So you get a $30 quarter. If you have Anchor Store or higher, you get an extra $25 a quarter. So it's nothing significant. I think I pay $300 a month in promoted listing fees. So
yeah, Lisa, the Southwest card is pretty awesome. We actually just got a second one. That's what I use. We just got a second one because we went on a trip when we just went back to the East Coast, and they had like an introductory thing where it's like if you spend, I think it's $2,000 or $3,000 within the first 60 days.
It was 70,000 points.
You get like 70,000 points, and so we got that, and I'm just going to use it to pay my fees and stuff like that. Basically, pay my fees, pay it off. Pay my fees, pay it off. So
yeah, I use myself. I have two Southwest business cards now.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, so it's just saying. And so we're going to use that because we travel all the time, and so for us, it absolutely makes sense. We have multiple trips that we have to do each year, and so it makes a lot of sense to be using that.
Let me see. What do we have here? Thrifty Christie, have you sold and shipped a 3-foot tall doll before? Mine got taken off Facebook Marketplace for being an adult toy. I guess if you like midgets, it could have been an adult toy.
Weird.
So I have sold and shipped big dolls and big toys before. I would for something 3 foot tall, I would, depending on where you live, I would probably use FedEx home delivery for UPS. That would be an oversized package. Trisha asks, am I starting to adjust shipping weights or pricing on heavier items to adjust the impending dim weight change? Yes, we actually just addressed this in last week's episode. We talked about the dim weight pricing last Wednesday, was it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't seen last Wednesday's show, we really did go into it very in depth about that. But yes, I do charge. I don't do calculated shipping, but I do charge for shipping on a lot of my heavier, larger items, and I tend to put a flat fee, which is like somewhere in the middle of what it would actually cost. I use FedEx more than anything on those larger items. It's still best for dim weight because of where we live. If you're in Arizona, then you know. So the stuff going to the East Coast is very pricey using priority or even parcel post. So I tend to put a flat rate there, and sometimes I eat a little bit, and sometimes I make a little bit depending on where it's going in the country. Depends on what you're sending.
So Lori's asking, she got a different kind of promotion, 50% off listing fees only if she lists items under $20 in women's shoes, accessories, and clothes. Why would eBay encourage cheaper listings? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, there is the idea that if you have some stuff that's like really cheap, like they have their whole thing where it's like under $5, under $10. The idea is that you bring shoppers to the site and they will stick around and buy other stuff. But I will also say that eBay, one area where I disagree with them is they're very much all about being competitive price-wise. And I don't think that's always the case, that you need to be super competitive with price. I mean, again, another sales model. But when I talk about, following eBay's best practices and stuff like that, I follow every single one except being price competitive, because I feel like if I can beat out other sellers in every other way, I can demand higher prices. So
I'm looking at Lisa's thing right there. Brooks Brothers suit. You had no idea it was on Vero. I sell Brooks Brothers stuff all the time. Vero, I had no idea Brooks Brothers was on the Vero list either. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, because what does that mean? Like,
what was it about the Brooks Brothers suit that was on the Vero list? That's weird to me.
Like, were they saying that you weren't, was it a new suit and you're not allowed to sell new Brooks Brothers? I mean, it's tough to say because that Vero stuff just drives me nuts because
they don't tell you what the hell you did
You don't
wrong.
really know, and it has to do with whether or not the company is super aggressive about going after people. And sometimes there's,
She said it had been listed for almost a year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then there's the fact that a lot of times, like technically, like if you wanted to spend tens of thousands of dollars to go to court, you could win because of the first sale doctrine. So technically you might be, you can say, well, it's perfectly legal for me to sell this, but you know what? If they want to...
She said, I had a suit, it was not allowed to be sold. They were very vague. Yeah, they're always very vague. And that's unfortunate because then you don't know what you did wrong. So you don't know how to do it differently or better. That's what's wrong.
But that's what I'm saying is that you aren't necessarily doing...
You're right.
You're not necessarily doing anything wrong. It's more of a matter, and like Casey talks about this a lot on his channel, it's not even necessarily you're technically doing anything legally wrong. But what are you going to do? You're going to spend $50,000 on a lawyer and fight it and take them to court and then finally win and be like, awesome, I won all this, or I just spent all this money to prove a point. So it's just tough. It's tough.
See, this is what's happening with shipping in general. Amanda says she sold 2 exact alike items in the past 2 days, weighed within a few ounces of each other. Boxes are the same size. She's in Virginia. One went to Arizona for $32. One went to Connecticut for $9. There is something seriously wrong with our postal system. Yeah, I don't know. It's whacked. That's whacked.
Totally wacky. Oh,
Karen asks, international shipping, do you suggest to select a shipping program and direct calculated, or will that turn off the customer? For international shipping, you should always use calculated. There's no reason to not use calculated. Customers expect it. There's only 2 ways to ship anything internationally anyway. If it's under 4 pounds, it's going to be first class international. If it's over 4 pounds, it's going to be priority international. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, they do have flat rate, but does that even give you any savings? I don't even know.
Yeah, there's
the flat rate priorities.
The flat rate priority is generally way more expensive than it's going to cost you to ship it based on weight, unless it's something like you're shipping a pound, several pounds of bricks.
Yeah. So basically, if it's 4 pounds or less, you want to do first class international, and so you do calculated, because unlike domestically, it's not like you're using padded flat rates. It's not, there's not all these different nuances. It's just 4 pounds and under, first class international. Priority doesn't really get it to them any faster, but you have to use priority if it's over 4 pounds. So it calculates just the way to go, promise.
And note, Trisha, dim weight does not apply internationally. That's only a domestic thing. And I do put the dimensional weight in the field. I always put the weight, but listen to me.
Okay, go ahead.
I always put the measurements and the weights there, but I will create my own business policy, my own shipping policy, and I will put a flat rate for my shipping cost. You can do whatever you'd like, but I don't let it calculate it. I put it there in case something's going international so that it calculates appropriately, but I will put a flat rate. I'll check on FedEx or whatever, and if it's something that's going to cost maybe $70 to ship to the East Coast, maybe I'll put 50. And I'll eat a little bit, and you're going to have to figure that out yourself based on what you're shipping and where it's going. What works best for you, but putting something calculated when it's dimensional weight is where you're located in Arizona, like where we're located here in Nevada. You're going to turn off your East Coast customers. You're not going to sell anything East Coast. So the best bet is to either do free shipping and know what it's going to cost on those more expensive, larger items, and calculate it and add it into your cost, or calculate some type of flat rate. Maybe go somewhere in the middle.
But Trisha, no, you should not be calculating your dim weight and putting that into your weight field. You should be putting the actual weight in.
She got it.
And the dimensions.
She understood what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, I'm clarifying it for everybody else too. So
it made sense. Pacific, if you list an item with free shipping under GSP, will the customer still pay for all of the other buyer fees at their end? Yes. Yes. I suggest learning to do your own international shipping and not using GSP at all. But because there is absolutely there's very little benefit for using GSP. But we do advocate and try to teach you how to do your own international shipping. It is much easier. But yes, if you put free shipping under GSP, that only means that it's free for you or for the customer to ship it to Kentucky. They're still paying everything to get to them from their end, but you're not getting the money. eBay's getting the money.
GSP is just a way for you to lose money and lose sales so that you can feel warm and safe falsely.
Pugs asked, am I responsible for the taxes they charge on certain state items, or does eBay take care of that? eBay takes care of that. They've started charging on states that are requiring collection of sales tax. They're taking care of remitting sales tax on states that they collect. You don't need to worry about that. The only thing you need to worry about is the state that you live in. If you ship and you are required to pay taxes on items that you collect taxes on in your state, so you need to talk to your accountant depending on whatever state you live in, but you don't need to worry about any other state other than the one that you live in.
If you see that pop up, that means that eBay took care of it already for you. When you see that number,
you're not getting that money. If you look in your PayPal account, you'll see that you're getting everything but that number. It looks like you're getting that, but you're not. The buyers paid it, but it went to eBay. Let's see, are there any
Greg, no, we're not starting over for you, okay? Du projet pick air.
Catch up, buddy.
You may be fancy, but you're not that fancy. Okay? All right. Any other questions, guys? We have about 10 more minutes to go before we got to get back to work, because I know
we started late. I got some stuff to do.
I got some listing goals. Yeah, this one over here made an appointment for 11 o'clock today. So I'm like, so what time are we starting the show? And she's like, and I'm like, way to ruin everything for everyone.
I'm sorry. So I was trying to get into
157 people you've inconvenienced.
I was trying to get into a doctor's appointment, and they had a cancellation. And when they called me, they were like, we can fit you in tomorrow. We had a cancellation for 11. I was like, yes. And then she's like, the show's at 11. I went, oh, crap. So sorry, guys. It's my fault that we're late today.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's see. DJ said on 6/1 is my store renewal. I'm thinking of upgrading to a premium, but barely making the basic store annual subscription. I'm struggling if I should upgrade or not. You know what? You can upgrade any time. So if you're struggling where you are right now, then I would say it probably isn't worth it for you to upgrade yet, hun. If you're not going over I mean, how many listings do you have? That's where if you're over, what is the breaking point? I think it's 354 or 355 listings.
Was like the break even.
Then if you're over that 350 something listings each month, then that's where you should be going from basic to premium. If you're not over that, then
well, 459. I mean, are you in a position where you are going to be able to really increase your listings? I mean, for some people, making that upgrade is what it takes to like really motivate them to make it worth their time. So I guess it just kind of depends on what your goals are and where. Oh, I see 250 fixed, 250 auction. I mean, I would ask like, why are you using so many? Are you using those auctions?
Because they're free. That's why.
Okay. So then, but if you have all those listings already made and you can what I'm saying is you can transfer them over into fixed listings, which I would say would be better for you anyway, most likely. Then right there, then
if you have tons of things to list and you have the motivation to do it, then maybe this will be the kick in the ass you need to do it to justify the subscription cost. But if you're struggling to make the subscription jump now, obviously I'm not going to ever tell anybody to spend more money than they have. I don't think you should incur more costs without seeing the difference. But honestly, the difference between a basic store and a premium store, the cost difference is going to be one more sale. So one more sale a month for you to get there. And if that's going to, like I said, if that's going to give you the kick in the ass to get stuff listed, then do it to justify it to yourself.
And I'll tell you what you've been doing with sticking with your 250 fixed and doing everything else auction because you don't want to spend extra on those listings. That's part of what's probably holding you back, honestly. And if you can get past that idea and honestly, switching to a premium store where now you suddenly have 1,000 listings to work with, and you can get that barrier out of you, that mental barrier gone.
You'd be able to take all of those listings that you've been recycling and putting into auction and just put those at a fixed price and not worry about them and not worry about playing around with them again.
And focus on just listing more and listing regularly. And I think you'll see a big difference in your sales.
And I'm with Trisha. Both Katie and I are Katie got an anchor store for free when she won the Shine Award a couple years ago. And so she was able to get that anchor store subscription for free for a year. That was one of her prizes for winning the Shine Award for eBay. And she hung on to it. And she didn't need to because she's not at that level either with 2,200 something listings. But it's just easier and it's a little bit more motivation to not be worried about the monthly listings. For me, I upgraded to Anchor Store about 4 months ago. And I wasn't quite there either. I was about 300 listings or 400 listings a month shy of where I needed to be for it to break even. But it was close. It was like a $50 or $60 difference a month for me. And it was just easier for me to not be nickel and diming it. If I wanted to end 100 listings and rework them and relist them, I wasn't going to be worried about, adding to my monthly fee. So that way I went up to Anchor before I really needed to. And I was able to justify it with, some of the extras.
So she says she has 459 fixed listed. So I would go ahead. This is what I would say to you. I would challenge you, DJ, go ahead, upgrade to premium and make a commitment to yourself that whatever you're doing now, add a couple more listings a day that you're doing. You said you've got plenty of stuff to list. List one more every day than you have been. List two more every day than you have been. And you're going to see that it's only going to take a sale or two a month, and that's going to cover that extra cost, but you're going to see your sales go up a lot more if you really commit to it and work on it.
I know today is the day that we're calling about words. Nobody can say if they got a phone call because I know that they're sworn to secrecy. So, I don't know.
The rules
are supposed to start calling people today, on or about today.
They said on or about, whatever that means. On or about. And what I say is if eBay has taught me anything, that means today's the absolute earliest you will hear about it.
So I'm hoping that we have some boss members, 1, 2, all boss members that were chosen as finalists. That would be awesome.
I just want one.
We're not going to know until eBay officially announces it. The people that have been chosen are not allowed to announce it out to anyone either.
But listen, if you have heard that you are a Shine winner, you can tell us. We won't tell anybody. You can tell us.
You can message us
You can send us a message and we won't tell anybody. Okay, we just want to be really excited about it for you.
Lady Luck Junk got her ring light from our affiliate link. Turn on your ring light.
I love it. Oh man,
a little bit of little songage.
Little songage.
You didn't sing it though.
Oh, sorry. Well, you sang it. Why do I need to sing it?
I don't know.
You just sang it. I don't know what you're trying to say. But speaking of, turn on your ring light. How about that? Okay, guys. Look what Vicky found for me at Savers last week. It's not vintage, but look at how cute he is. Look how cute he is. Be good.
He's not vintage. He is kind of cute though.
He's real cute. Look at his little eyes. I think he's adorable. See, Sandra likes him. Anyway. Yeah, so Thrifts a lot. Has just over 1,000 listed in his premium store. Sometimes I like to end them all and do a sell similar so I get fresh eyes in the items. I mean, you know what though? Like every single day, if you're on your seller hub, every single day it tells you the items that are ending that day. So just go ahead and you can click on it. It'll take you to the list of all of them. Just end them all and do sell similar and just do that every day for a month, and you will basically refresh everything. You know, and it'll take you what, 5 minutes to do that every day?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Greg picked up a Lost Boys record today. Are they really selling that high? Yes, they are. They really are. That's a good find.
Awesome. Wait, what? Frontier Flipper? Vintage ET Avon pin? Send me a picture of it. I want to see it. I want to know what that looks like. You know me, I love me some ET. Look, I got my ET back there, my ET right here, my ET back in ET. Oh, ET's heart light's not on. I think I unplugged it for something. Oh, I put ET's heart light out.
You're rotten.
I'll have to fix that before the next show. Anyway, all right, guys. Any other questions? DJ, our house had a big ugly light fixture outside the house, and I would tell my hubby to take it down. ET's not coming home. That's so mean.
That's funny.
That's so mean.
I mean,
anyway, he has cute little feet. He has cute little feet. Hands down, finger up. See, I bet Greg would wear my he would wear my hands down, finger up. Katie and Vicky are not hireable t-shirt. See, that's 3 people that would wear it. Me.
You go ahead and make
Sandra
yourself one.
And Greg.
Put it on Amazon. Go ahead, make one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. What are the rules? If it doesn't say ET on it, but I have a picture that looks kind of like
if
ET.
you don't make it public and you make a private one on Amazon, you can sell it to anybody.
Oh, really? Okay.
You can just have to give them a link.
See, oh, Lisa would wear it. Lady Luck Junk would wear it. Look at that.
You people are all weirdos. I wouldn't.
I think it'd be pretty funny. It would just be ET.
Kimberly would wear it.
It would be ET, and it would just say, hands down, finger up, Katie and Vicky are not hireable.
Ridiculous. Sandra, I'd wear it every day. That's a bit much.
Look at all these people that would wear it.
You lie. You're all a bunch of liars.
They're not liars.
Liars. Liars. All he is.
See, now I gotta work on my design. We are nerds. It's true.
Jasmine, over the weekend did my first inventory check and had a ton of unlisted items sitting in bins. What happened to those listings? That's a good question. It happens all the time. It's been happening for years. It's the mysterious things that just fall out of the interwebs somewhere. It happens all the time. And then I
do know, like, after an item's been up for 18 months, that's really when it's likely to happen.
Yeah, it's the same way that people talk about the mysterious relist. Say you've sold something 6 months ago, all of a sudden it's in your inventory and you sell it again. You're like, I sold that 6 months ago. I can't find it. Then you've got to cancel it and you get a defect because you can't. And then you call eBay and they're like, well, that shouldn't have happened. You must have done it yourself. Yeah. No, you didn't. It's been happening for 10 years.
I mean, I wear that t-shirt sporting my Rally Roots bag and everyone would know I'm a YouTube hoe. I actually, you know what? Did you ever post a picture of those bags?
No, we have our Rally Roots bags because I'm gonna probably do it next week when we actually have stuff in them when we're using them. We haven't used them yet.
I know, but they sent them forever ago. We're ungrateful twats. Anyway, I actually filled mine up. I'll go grab mine real quick because
apparently we're YouTube hoes too.
Yeah,
so we wear our Rally Roots hat and we have our bags.
Well, they were really awesome and sent us 2 bags. We didn't even ask for them, you guys. They just sent them because
Trisha said, I have a sale of men's wool jacket. I noticed when packing has a few flea bites. A message buyer twice with no response. I offered option to cancel or refund. I need to ship out today. You have a little bit of wiggle room in late shipment rate for a reason. If you can't get in touch with them, I mean, I'd wait one more day, and then I would just send it. If I were you.
But yeah, see, check it out, guys. So Ryan and Elsa were really awesome, and they actually sent us 2 of these because they're just really sweet. And so they sent us these, and I actually have mine. I just loaded mine up today because I'll be going sourcing tomorrow, and so I have it filled up with all of my goodies that I'm going to be taking into Buffalo Exchange. I think I have a pretty good haul here too, because it's for the last 2 weeks worth. I have a bunch of really cool stuff in here.
You even have some stuff. I cleaned out my drawers and gave you
last time I got $123 in credit. My goal, I want to try to break the $200 mark on credit because I got, it's really full. But yeah, this bag is awesome. It's huge. It like,
holds a lot. It's as good as an IKEA bag, but stronger.
Yeah.
I like it. So. I might be carrying mine around open like a big dork too, even though they're not going to be at open, because that's going to hold all of our swag that we're going to have to give away at open to our friends, our stranger friends.
Borderline hoarderish. You know what? We love Callie too, and I know, as far as I know, still Ryan and Allie have no plans to come to open. We were really trying to get them to like send Callie like as their representative, because I think that a lot of people would be super into getting to see Callie. I don't know if that's happening, but maybe we can continue to harass. But Suzanne says, I'm killing it with my sourcing. You know, I'm trying.
She is.
It has a lot to do with, I've got some, I'm kind of switching up how I'm doing things, and it seems like it's been paying off. It's been pretty cool.
I will be working tomorrow while Katie goes sourcing, and I'll probably join her for the end of the day tomorrow, kind of like I have the past couple times.
She can't hack the full day.
No, I just have stuff to do.
So but
I'm sick of clothing, so I'm a little bit savers out.
Yeah, you don't like the whole full day.
I'm gonna go.
She's lucky, and I just swing on through and pick her up.
Well, I think I'll do a little bit more on my own with Lorna next week. While you're working more during the day, and I'm trying to get more work done during the week, because I know you're not going to want to source every day next week, and I will want to go out with Lorna.
Are we doing garage sales?
Yes.
On Friday?
Yes. We are.
Interesting.
We are.
Interesting.
Yeah, we are.
And you don't know, maybe I will want to go sourcing every day next week.
Okay, maybe you will.
Maybe I will. You don't know.
What ifs?
You don't know. Whatever. What ifs? You don't know.
Yeah, I hope they get more bags too. I guess they sold out very quickly, because I was going to go buy some, and they had already sold out. And then Allie messaged me, and she's like, I put aside 2 for you and Katie. I was like, oh, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, so we should probably you should probably post something on the old Instagram or something. Anyway, all right.
Mo, I would come pick your garage in a moment if you were any closer.
In a moment.
In a moment.
We should have done. You know what? I realized we should have gone shopping at Trisha's house when we were in New England.
I know.
Because she was going through some stuff and sending me pictures, and I was like, "What? Seriously, ridiculous!" Oh, awesome pictures sent on Instagram, cool. So I can check out that ET Avon pin. All right, guys, it is time for us. We need to go get some work done. How many listings are you doing today?
I don't know. I've only done 1 so far, so I'm hoping to get like 15 before the end of the day.
I'm shooting for 20. I haven't done any yet. I'm shooting for 20.
15, and I've got 5 hours, because we'll knock off about 7.
All right, yeah. So Trish, next time we're there, I'm coming in. I'm shopping your stash. But I'm really excited. Trish is gonna maybe order a whole truckload of stuff that I'm gonna try and get some of, but we'll see. I don't
know. Jesse! I hope you're feeling okay. You fell the other day.
What?
People are like, you guys are all breaking. Be careful. Be careful out there.
Come on.
This reselling, everybody getting hurt.
It's true. It's true. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to work. You get to work. You get to work.
I'm getting to work.
We'll all get to work. And yeah, talk to you later. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.